All right, so my name is Kavon Jones. I'm a licensed realtor here, consider myself a real estate investment advisor. Reason why is that I actually help my clients kind of build their wealth and their family legacy through truly just kind of educating them on the process and really just providing those different details and nuances as Rachel just mentioned regarding that VA mortgage. So obviously we know that that VA loan is really one of the most powerful tools ever because you have no down payment. You're able to have very low to minimal closing costs, and you can actually utilize that loan more than once. So she was able to kind of break down those different myths in regards to that process. And as we know, we're here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is booming and a growing city, and one of the main reasons people say that they can afford real estate is because of the interest rates. And as Rachel just kind of broke it down, anybody putting less than 20% usually have that mortgage insurance. But you guys, as a veteran using that VA loan, you have an additional benefit because you don't have to pay that mortgage insurance, right? So your mortgage payment is a couple $100 less than anybody else's already out the gate, regardless of what that interest rate is. So that's going to be amazing for you guys, as well as typically on VA loans, lenders offer a slightly lower interest rate than market anyway. So you have a lot of different benefits from that as well. So when we're talking about Las Vegas here, we're looking at our housing market. The median home price when I read this was about $425,000. So when Kenneth was talking a little bit earlier, we're talking about housing affordability. I mean, you typically have to make about $90,000 or more just to be able to afford a property in that $400,000+ range. And that doesn't even really include whether you have a car payment, whether you're helping anybody with, paying for college and all those other monthly bills. That's if you literally had zero debt, you would need to make $90,000 a year. So that's why it's really powerful for the veteran community to really look into increasing their monthly compensation benefits, because we need that additional income to be able to take care and support our families. Okay, so in the housing market here, we're selling about 2,000 homes a month. There's roughly about 4,000 homes on a property. So it's right around 60 days worth of inventory on the market. So it's still very low inventory. So everybody is saying, hey, I'm gonna wait to buy a home. I'm gonna wait. It's like, well, I don't know what you're waiting on, because there might not be any houses once you kind of go in there. And the other thing too to consider is that if people are still buying houses within a 2-month time period now with high interest rates, what's gonna happen once those interest rates go down? It's literally gonna be 5-10 days of inventory like it was before in 2021, 2022, and you won't be able to find a property, and you'll be in a situation again where people are putting $25,000, $50,000 more above appraisal just to procure a property, right? So instead of doing that, what I recommend a lot of people is to be really strategic with their home purchase. If you're looking at purchasing a home, maybe you're not going to get that dream mansion on the hill that you wanted to get because it's going to cost you too much right now, but you can still get into something with an affordable mortgage payment, and then you can use that as another stepping stone, right? Because you can't utilize that VA loan more than once. And then if you decided to still stay in that property, then now if the interest rates do go down, you'll just refinance that loan, and then you'll get the benefit of two things, right? Because right now it's pretty much the lowest the house is going to cost. Okay, so the moment the interest rates go back down to 4 or 5%, that house that costs $500,000 right now is going to be worth $650,000, $700,000. So even though you have that 5% interest rate, your mortgage payment is still going to be the same because you're financing more house. But if you were to purchase that house now at $500,000, and then you're able to refinance to that lower interest rate, now you're getting the best of both worlds. I think one of the problems is that people want to have their cake and eat it too, right? They want to get the low interest rate and get the low home price. Is a very small window when you're ever able to get both of those things, right? And again, even if you're talking to people that purchased in 2021, 2022, they basically got the lower interest rate, but they had to put $25,000, $50,000 above appraisal. So that means they had to have that in cash. So if you didn't have that money to put in cash, you couldn't have purchased the house with those low interest rates anyway, because investors and everybody else was beating you out of those loans. So those are definitely things that I talk about with my clients here. Also, just really focusing on your budget, right? Your budget, your location, and your housing preference. So really looking at what's going to be most important to you in your home purchase and determining that budget. So what can you afford from a monthly mortgage standpoint, and being able to kind of work from there to decide. So like, yeah, you may want, a 5-bedroom house or different things like that. It was like, well, do you need 5 bedrooms, or could we go by and get like a 3 or 4, or different things like that? And there's other kind of creative strategies, and looking at a house might be listed on the market. And I actually did this for a client of mine. They needed a 5-bedroom, but it was listed on the market as a 4-bedroom, but it had a 5th room, but they had removed the closet out of that room. So it was only classified as a 4-bedroom. But had we not have been searching for 4 bedrooms as well, we would have never found that house. So just really being able to kind of look at and be really strategic about things. What area of town do you want to live on is going to be very important. And also just the details and different things that you need in a home, whether it's going to be 1-story, 2-story, do you need a larger backyard, different things like that, and determining all those different things for yourself, okay? So when you're selling a property, you want to look at a lot of different things as well. You obviously want to hire a professional that's going to be very knowledgeable in the local area of Las Vegas. So, right now we're right off of Russell Road, right? So, okay, so there's East Russell and we're West Russell. So they're building a new casino, Durango Casino, right down the street from here. So now if you're dealing with somebody that didn't know Vegas, and you said, hey, I'm off Russell Road next to a casino, well, that could be Durango Casino or that could be Sam's Town. So it just depends on what area that you're in, right? And that's very important, because if they're not a local expert, they won't know. They might say, oh yeah, Russell's a good area or Russell's a bad area based off of their understanding of East Russell or West Russell, because it's 2 totally different places there. And I grew up on the east side, no problem with, over there, but we know it's 2 different places. We got eyes, we see, we know. All right, so, but yeah, you want to hire somebody that's going to be a local expert and going to really help you kind of consider all your different options and know about the market conditions and that sort of thing there, because that's going to be way important. So when you're prepping your house for sale, the main things you want to do is try to make those necessary repairs ahead of time. You don't want the potential buyer coming in and telling you what's broke and all these different things, because they're just going to try to chop that off of your list price. Okay, so you want to hire your own inspector, and then something else, you want to actually even hire your own appraiser. So what a lot of people don't know, when you're selling a home, you can actually get your home appraised yourself. So now you're not guessing when you put your home on the market. So for all my clients, before we put their home on the market, I pay for them to have an appraisal. So obviously their buyer is still going to get their own appraisal done on a property, but now we already know. We already had somebody certify the value of this property, so we know it's priced accordingly. And also to allude to what Rachel was saying about being able to close quickly, that's one of the things that you need to close quickly. So if you're dealing with somebody that is buying your home cash, they don't need an appraisal, because the only time you need an appraisal is that if you're getting a loan, it's when it's required for the buyer. So as a seller, if you already got that appraisal done, and then if you're in an HOA community, you already ordered that HOA resale package, that's how you're able to close in 7 or 10 days. Because if you didn't do that already, you're going to have to wait for the resale package to come. You're going to have to wait for that appraisal to be done, different things like that. So that's how you kind of help your timeline and be able to sell your house a lot more quickly with doing those different things there. So to pretty much conclude it here, to get you guys out of here, and Kenneth will actually have some closing statements regarding some things as well. Obviously, picking your real estate professional is going to be most important, and also really just defining your dream experience. So, we're all going to be at different points in life when we're purchasing a home. It may be an investment property, it may be your primary residence, and you're purchasing a second or third home, you're purchasing your first home. Your expectations are going to be different based on where you are. So you want to make sure you communicate that with your real estate professional and that whole entire team when you're going through that property. If you're doing an investment property, you like, I don't even care what the house look like. Just tell me the cap rate. As long as I can make some money on the property, I don't care, right? So, but if it's your first home, like, oh, this is my baby, I'm worried about every single step in detail. Or if you are buying a second or third property and you're entering your retirement stage and different things, it's like you might be very particular about the type of home that you want. It's like, hey, I need RV parking. It has to be a one-story. It has to have this, and this. I want to have an island, but I don't want the sink to be in the island. Like, I want to have, me and my wife need 2 separate closets, right? It gets really particular. So you really want to define that experience and make sure you're communicating all those things with your real estate professional for sure. And do that clearly and effectively, and they'll make sure that you're good to go. Also, adapt to changing circumstances. So obviously, interest rates fluctuate daily. That's a lot of times they're going to be out of our control regarding that. Even as far as the type of inventory that's on the market and all of that. So we have to just be able to adapt. Don't let a family or a friend or other relative tell you, well, I bought my house in 2006 and I only paid X amount, or this happened then. It's like, well, it's a totally different market, and we have to kind of adapt to the days and times of right now, and we can't go off of that dated information. So definitely be adaptive to that. And also make sure you keep all your documentation organized. You're going to be signing a lot of papers when you're purchasing a home. It's going to be important. Even if you're getting a new home, it's going to be stuff that doesn't matter to you today, but it's like 6 months later, at the end of the year, when you start to file those taxes and doing different things, you're going to wish you had that stuff organized. So maintain organization in that, and also just maintain a positive attitude. It's going to be different ups and downs with purchasing your home. Oh man, I put in a good offer, I really wanted this one. Or if you're selling a home, oh, I thought these people was going to buy the home and they backed out of the offer, different things like that. Just maintain a positive attitude. Like I showed you the slide earlier, pretty much most houses are going to sell within like a 60-day time period right now. So it's just a matter of time when you're either find the home that you're looking for, or you'll actually find that buyer to purchase your home. So just maintain your attitude, be able to adapt to the price changes and different things of that. And then once you're done with the process, celebrate and really make sure, celebrate your success, and realize that you accomplished something that very few people do, right? So as far as buying one home, that's not all Americans own their home right now. So you want to definitely kind of celebrate yourself and just know that you kind of did something powerful there, because the main thing about purchasing and home ownership, and I said it in the first slide, but I didn't kind of elaborate on that, is that it's really a tool to build wealth. And that's one of the easiest ways to build wealth. Not everybody has the opportunity and the knowledge to invest in stocks and different things like that. Home ownership is kind of one of the easiest ways to really secure your future. And we're talking about individuals being concerned about retirement and different things like that. It's like that home ownership is great because it stabilizes that most important line item of your budget. So what you pay for your monthly housing expense is more than you pay monthly for anything else, right? So the sooner you buy a home, the sooner you're able to pay that off, the sooner you're able to take that line item out of your budget. So, if you're looking to purchase another home yourself, great. If you have other people, definitely encourage them to do so, regardless of what they're thinking about with the interest rates. Don't let the news scare you. When they wanted us to buy homes in 2021 and 2022, you had a whole bunch of good news out there for it, right? And now it's a lot of bad press about it. But obviously, the hedge funds and the investors haven't stopped buying homes. Like, so, your Zillows and your all those people, they're still buying homes. So definitely you guys should too. So definitely want to conclude there. And Kenneth has some closing remarks for you regarding the benefit side of things.